Hello, I hope you're all having a glorious Saturday. It is divine here in sunny Penicuik. The weather is 18 degrees I think already, and it's only lunchtime and it's too nice to be stuck inside, so I've brought you out to my garden and we're going to craft out here. So some of you might remember from my previous shopping haul video that we bought these two pottery bottles. I think they're the same bottles but bought from different shops. They're both hand painted. They, I think, are vinegar bottles, like vinaigrette or something. Come with stoppers, and they've actually been on the website for a while. So we are going to upgrade these, upcycle, redo, modernise. We're going to make them pretty, and you guys get to do it with me. Alright, so we're going to paint these bottles with Rust-Oleum Chalky Finish Furniture Paint in Winter Grey. So that's one of my favourite colours, pretty much use that on 60% of my projects. So we're going to paint it with a rounded brush. It doesn't really matter what brush you use, I just like these rounded brushes. I feel like they give a nice bit of texture. What I've found with chalk paint is if you want to paint something with chalk paint and have a completely smooth finish that's not distressed, you're going to need about 4 coats of paint. So I'm going to have 3 coats, I think, because I don't want it completely smooth, but I will want to sand it back a little bit. And I'm not going for the distressed look, I'm going for a kind of natural pottery look. So we're going to probably have to do 3 coats. The good news is that it's so hot out here, one side of the bottle will be dry before I get to the other. And then what I'm going to do is probably give each of the bottles a slightly different finish. So we want them to not necessarily be the same, sort of match, but not match, if you know what I mean, like coordinate. That's what we want. And there's that wee drop detail on the bottom that says it's half a litre. It's kind of indented into the pottery, so we're going to try and keep that. It's just a nice wee detail. And you guessed it, we're going to put an IOD on it. I was looking at some of the transfers I've got, and I was looking at some of the moulds, and I think I kind of just want to go for a vintage theme, and these are going to be vases for flowers. So I'm going to see if I've got something floral. So that's 1 coat of paint. I'm going to let that dry. The other thing is, because I'm outside, I'm going to have to wrap my paintbrush in a wet wipe so that it doesn't dry out between coats. So this one here is the one that's already painted, so you can still see that design there. Like I said, it was 3 coats, and you can see where I've sanded it. It's got this kind of textured look, like a grain to it, which is what I wanted. And I paid more attention to the shoulders, where you would naturally pick it up and it would get worn down, so it's got a smoother finish. And I think it looks great. I think it looks really rustic. So what I was thinking for with this other one, the second bottle, is, so we've got this grain, maybe more of a stippled effect on that second bottle. Alright, that's then painted. So number 1, that's the kind of almost grain-like look that I've gone for. Number 2, I did with a stipple effect, so I've just used my brush, dabbed on the paint. It's kind of different thicknesses all over to give it a handmade stoneware look, and I love it. I think it's great. And I've decided that I'm going to use the Iron Orchid Designs Bronze Botanicals. This is my favourite transfer. You'll have seen me use this quite a lot. And back page here, one big piece. I'm dropping it everywhere. One big piece. So this piece here, I quite like this. So I think what I'll do is, so if you look at that, that's one design, it's all joined together, but you just make it work for you. So this one I'm going to take off, I think probably this part, and split it, and we're going to put this on our bottles. Alright, so here we are. We've got our transfers. I cut them out of that big transfer that you saw. I've added them onto the bottles. What you do need to be careful of, if you're going to use chalk paint, like this is the one that we chalk painted and sanded, there'll be like a really fine dust over this. So what I did before I applied the transfer was I gave it a wipe with a baby bottle, otherwise it's not going to stick. Also, make sure your paint's dry, because if the paint is wet, the transfer will actually lift the paint. So that's happened here a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. There, you see. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of paint under there to stick it back down, and then I'm going to clear wax it all to give it some durability, and then we'll get some florals in it and we'll get them styled, and you guys can let me know what you think.